Alright guys, I came as quick as I could when I found out that there was a misunderstanding about my last video. So let's clear it up right now! Alright guys, I've got a confession to make. My last video was 100% clickbait. And you guys watched it. Thank you for watching it. But I need to clear some things up because I think some people were taking me quite literally and very seriously, and the video was not intended to be literal or serious. So let me explain. Obviously, my car is not a waste of a build, right? That was a total clickbait title. I'm not going to throw the car away. The car is wonderful. It is going to do fine at Freedom Factory. But I don't want anyone to misunderstand in thinking that I do not want to go to a different track. I love different tracks. There's nothing better than going to a variety of tracks and learning how to drive them and diversity and all that stuff, right? I love that. I love different tracks. What I was saying is I thought that Klutch Kickers was going to be run at one track. I kind of played myself because I was like, you know what? I'm going to build my car as good as I can to work on this track that I think everyone thought was going to be the case, and it wasn't the case. Big deal, right? Whatever. Adapt, overcome, that's fine. That's great. Like, I got no problem with that. The reason I did the title on my video and all that stuff was just to attract attention and get some views, right? Big deal. I got my $12 check. I'm moving on. I'm going to make another video. If you guys watch this one, maybe I'll get another $12 check. Thank you. But, so let's talk about Klutch Kickers. I love Klutch Kickers as a series. I love driving at Klutch Kickers. I love the way that they've put this whole thing together. I love the program. I love the way it attracts drivers from all across the country. And obviously the one thing that people were kind of criticizing or saying that was lacking at Klutch Kickers was a variety or a diversity in tracks or track layouts, right? And so the fact that Klutch Kickers is moving from 2 seasons at one track to a whole other track, that's great. That's great for the series. I think it's great for everyone. Everyone should be excited that we're going to drive somewhere different, as am I. I'm very excited. I drove Freedom Factory once, and I liked it. Some people are saying, "Oh, we hate ovals, whatever." Like, I get that. But there's a lot of oval tracks that people drive at in the country. FD drives it, what, 5 oval tracks or 4 oval tracks? It's kind of the American thing, the oval track, right? The thing about Freedom Factory is, from what I understand, Klutch Kickers plans on running a bunch of different layouts and not using the bank, right? The first thing you think when, oh, we're going to Freedom Factory, there's a big bank. It's going to be a bank track. We're going to be running the bank, and guys with big horsepower are going to run away. Well, they're saying now that that's not going to be the case. They're not going to allow the layout to create a disparity in horsepower. I believe that for the most part. I also believe there will probably be 1 or 2 layouts throughout the season that are going to allow that to some extent. So I'm going to be prepared for that. I'm going to set my car up so that I can run the bank, and that I can also run smaller layouts as well. One of the downsides that I have is I'm limited on my differential ratios. I have a Q45 diff in this car, and it's a 3.5 ratio, which isn't much different than last year because I ran a 350Z diff that had a 3.5, a 3.3, and a 3.7 available to me, and I mainly ran the 3.5. So when I chose the Q45 diff, it was like, let me put this in my car because the 3.5 was the best ratio for Emerald Coast Dragway, the layout they had at the Klutch Kickers last year. And I thought, perfect, I got a strong diff with 1 ratio, I shouldn't need to change it. And now it's like, hey, well, you might actually have to change your ratio to run well on the bank. So cool. I got to figure out what I'm going to do for that. Even a 350Z diff, if I go back to that with a 3.3, 3.5, 3.7 ratio, I don't know if that's going to be perfect for those layouts. I won't know until we test it, right? So that's what I'm running my brain right now, is how I'm going to figure that out. And that's why I was complaining on my videos, like, oh, cool, I had it all figured out, sick. I got all these things lined up, and my car's going to be great. And no, it changed. So, like I said, I'm not complaining. I don't care. I love it. You can put me on any track, anywhere. I'll find a way to make it work. I love it. But it's just funny because I've never, ever in my life ever thought about building a car specifically for one track. And everyone's like, that's such a stupid idea. And I'm like, yeah, that is kind of a stupid idea. Unless you're running the same track all year and the car is only going on that track, then why not build that car to be perfect on that track? Just like anyone would do when they show up at a track and set their car up to be the best car for that track. Why not build the whole car for the one track if it's going to be anyways? You guys know what I'm getting at. But it didn't work. I played myself. I made a joke. The title of the video should be "Man Kicks Himself in Balls and Then Cries on Camera," right? I'm just sitting here complaining about something that I I set myself up for failure. Anyways, it's not a failure. I've still got months to get the car figured out. Big deal. We'll figure it out. Make some changes and all that stuff. I am going to continue the build series. If you guys haven't watched it, please go back and watch the build series. I started from scratch. We literally carried the car in with no subframes, no nothing, put it on the lift, and then built it up from the ground up in 2 weeks, and then took it on Klutch Kickers. So I'll leave the link in the description here to go watch those videos, but they're just the previous videos from this. They're only 2 or 3 weeks old at the time of this video. So very interesting. I'm going to continue that and make changes to the car from where we're at right now to where we want to be, and show you guys what we're going to do a little bit differently. What about how things are going to look for Klutch Kickers in 2022? I would speculate that we are going to see a lot of the same drivers, and we're going to see some different drivers. I doubt we'll see all of the same drivers. I'll bet you some people decide not to go. Some new people are probably going to show up, and so I don't think it'll be that unfamiliar as far as who's coming and who's driving. A lot of the guys were already from Florida, so I think the people that are in Florida will travel there. I think the people that were serious from out of state will continue to go. And then I think we'll get some new people that have probably had their eye on the series for a minute, just like I did. I didn't go the first season, but then I had my eye on it the first season, decided to go the second season. We'll probably see some people like that that have had their eye on it and decide to commit in 2022. What about the track layouts? I'm guessing we're going to see probably a lot of infield. That would be good. It would be, I think, an equalizer. That track, if you guys don't know, it has a paved oval that is somewhat old, so it has really rough asphalt, which is good for grip, bad for tire wear. The infield is all paved concrete, so that's very slick and good for tire wear. So it's going to be an interesting. It's going to be interesting going from the outside surface to the inside surface. I'm sure they're going to use a mixture of both, right? Whether it's the bank or just the straights on the oval. Either way, I'm sure there's going to be a transition of surfaces, and that will be interesting for how the different cars are able to handle those transitions. As far as other interesting things, Cletus is going to be competing in his Corvette on his home turf, so that'll be interesting. That's going to bring a lot of viewers. New viewers. There's going to be a lot more eyes on the series, and so that should help guys like me and other guys that are competing to have opportunity to sell sponsorship, because there's going to be a bigger audience, I believe. Klutch Kickers does a very, very, very good job of putting on a show and showing it through the live stream, and I hope that that's not interrupted or affected, because that was a big pull, a big draw for me to go there, was to be on the live stream and to be able to tell sponsors like, hey, look, there's a broadcast going on. It's got my car. It's got your logos on it. It's got all this stuff going on that is marketable. And so I hope to see that same thing. I hope we find out soon exactly how that's going to work, and with the live stream and all that stuff. Aside from that, I imagine we're going to see a lot of guys that just found out about this a couple days ago are going to build insane cars. I think we're going to see a lot of cars that are 500 plus horsepower, with people anticipating bank driving and a lot of high horsepower tracks. That being the case, I hope that we don't have high horsepower tracks, so that everyone that prepares for that does not get a chance to run away from guys that do not build high horsepower cars. I really like the series as a whole being not like low horsepower or grassroots, but just the ability for the underdog to come out on top. I like seeing guys like I can't even think of names. People who did well last season that didn't have the best cars. I love being able to see guys like that take out guys that have really high horsepower cars. I think that's great. It shows a lot of driver skill, and that's what I love seeing in drifting, is driver skill over horsepower, for sure. Aside from that, I mean, I'm just rambling on at this point, but I think we'll probably see a few changes to the rules. I don't know what, but I'm pretty confident there's going to be some safety changes, being that we are running on a bigger track with a bank. They're probably going to have some updates to the safety rules. I don't know if we're going to be required to wear like Han's device and a racing suit or anything like that, but I imagine we'll see something along those lines of a rule change. I'm not sure what people are going to be doing about tires. I imagine it'll still be open for any type of tire. tire wear might become an issue if it is a bank track, but if we're using the infield, I doubt that'll be an issue at all. One of the nice things about Emerald Coast was that the track was not hard on tires. I was able to go, I think I did the entire comp on one pair of Achilles 123s. Like every single run plus some practice on one pair of tires. And that was like incredible. And I'd get it one more time with Pollard, and he's putting fresh tires on every time, and I'm still going, like, just cross my fingers, like, I hope these tires last, and they did. And that was one great thing about that. I saved a ton of money by not having to use as many tires as I was anticipating. So that might be different this year. There might be a lot higher of a tire budget. But that's about all I've got for this video, guys. I appreciate you guys watching and following. I just had to clear up the fact that the last video was clickbait. I thought it was blatantly obvious that it was clickbait. I thought it was cringy clickbait, but a lot of people fell for it, and they went in the comments and just had the sweetest things to say about my video. So I figured I would make another video and clear it up, and maybe stir up some more controversy, whatever. If you guys are commenting on my videos, I'm happy. If you got crap to say, that's fine. I love it. Just leave it in the comments. Don't go on Facebook. Leave it in the YouTube comments to help my algorithm so my next video does well, or so this video does well. But once again, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate those of you that have followed everything I did from this build and Drift Week, and even before that, loyal fans and followers. I hope to see you guys at Klutch Kickers. I hope to see you guys around wherever I see you. Next week, we're going to Winter Jam to test this car out some more, make some changes. We did get a sponsorship deal with GK Tech, so I'm going to be running some new stuff on that. On new stuff of theirs on this car, I've already got their angle kit and stuff like that. I want to run a front sway bar. We're using some of the rear arms and stuff to try and get the best performance out of this car and the most reliability suspension-wise. And so thank you to GK Tech for coming on board. I've been using their products for a long time, but now to be officially on the team and sponsored by GK Tech is a wonderful feeling. Shout out to my Dan Brockett for always helping out with the GK Tech setup and advice, and just being an all-around good buddy when it comes to drifting. And that is it for this video. Please like, subscribe if you haven't already. Don't give me a thumbs down. I don't like thumbs downs. That really hurts my, you know. But that's all. That's all. That's all I got. Bye.